Greetings, adventurers, and welcome back to Abnormal Voyages. My name is David, and today we find ourselves on another cemetery safari. The wide world of sports has many fans, and here in the United States, the most popular sport is by far American football. Today, we honor some of these great sport legends, and where better to begin than here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. We are at the grave of the founder of one of the oldest NFL teams still playing today, Mr. Curly Lambeau.
We're going to a place that you've never heard of before. It's Abnormal Voyages. You're gonna learn something new. We're gonna open new doors. It's Abnormal Voyages.
You can't tell the story of the NFL without mentioning Curly Lambeau. Born in 1898, Earl Louis Lambeau, he was the founder of the Green Bay Packers with his friend George Whitney Calhoun. Not only was he one of the founders of the team, but he was the team's first true football star and went on to become one of the most successful coaches in NFL history. With the Packers, Lambeau led the team to over 200 wins and 6 NFL championships, a record that still stands today and is tied with only 2 other coaches. He has the distinction of being honored in the very first inaugural class of the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 1963, and then shortly after his death in 1965, the Packers renamed their stadium to Lambeau Field in his honor. This is certainly one legacy that will never be forgotten. Speaking of the Green Bay Packers, located not too far away at Fort Howard Memorial Park, we find the final resting spot of Arnie Herber. Arnie Herber was the quarterback for the Packers from 1930 to 1940, a full decade of games. Arnie was well known for being a big proponent of the passing game, which was kind of rare back in that era of football, so it comes as no surprise that he led the NFL in passing yards in 1932, 1934, and in 1936. In that year, he completed 77 passes for 1,239 yards. Pretty impressive. That may not seem like a lot compared to today's stats, but that just goes to show you how much the game has truly evolved. Herber retired after 11 seasons with the Green Bay Packers, then came back for a couple of years with the New York Giants before ultimately retiring for good in 1945. In 1966, he would be honored by being inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Then in 1969, at the age of 59, he passed away due to cancer. One final stop here in Wisconsin is Pine Grove Cemetery, where we find Elroy Crazy Legs Hirsch. Crazy Legs played halfback and receiver for the Los Angeles Rams from 1949 to 1957. He received his nickname supposedly from the crazy way his legs twisted as he ran. One version of the story says that a sports writer commented, "His crazy legs were gyrating in 6 different directions, all at the same time. He looked like a demented duck." From that point, the nickname stuck, though I guess demented duck would have been a pretty good one too. And though the way he ran may have been pretty crazy, he definitely had the speed down. He actually set a new NFL record with almost 1,500 receiving yards. Even though the NFL was only 12 games at the time, his single-season receiving record stood for almost 20 years, up until the merger of the AFL and the NFL. Elroy was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 1967. He passed away due to natural causes at the age of 80 in 2004. We now head to Palms Memorial Park, located in Sarasota, Florida. This is where we find the final resting location of Otto Graham. Otto played for the Cleveland Browns in the quarterback position from 1946 to 1955 and is still today considered to be one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. Even though his playing days were quite a while back and the game has changed since he was on the field, he still holds the NFL record for career average yards gained per pass attempt with 8.63. He also holds the record for the highest career winning percentage for an NFL starting quarterback at a whopping 81%. Graham was an extremely dominating player and took the Browns to league championship games every year between 1946 and 1955, making 10 championship appearances and winning 7 of them. With Otto at the helm, the Browns managed to win 105 games with only 17 losses and 4 ties. After playing, Otto decided to coach a little bit and was eventually inducted into the Football Hall of Fame in 1965. He would pass away in 2003 due to a heart aneurysm. For our next player, we head to Fort Worth, Texas. This grave is located at the Greenwood Memorial Park and Mausoleum. Here we find a very well-known Detroit Lions player, Yale Lary. Yale played safety and punter for 11 seasons. There was 1952 to 1953, and then 1956 to 1964. During those 2 missing seasons of 54 and 55, he actually returned to military service as an Army second lieutenant in Korea. But once he got back, it was straight back to the football field. During his time, he led the NFL in punting 3 separate seasons, and when he retired in 1964, his 44.3-yard punting average ranked 2nd in all of NFL history. He also totaled 50 receptions for 787 return yards. He would be inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 1979. Then, he would pass away on May 11th, 2017, at the ripe old age of 86 years old. For our final grave today, we head to Rest Haven, located in Mississippi, to see a true legend, Walter Payton. Walter Payton was a running back with the Chicago Bears for 13 seasons and is widely regarded as one of the greatest football players of all time. Payton was a first-round draft pick for the 1975 season and turned out to be a fantastic selection by the Bears. In his time with the team, he would set almost too many records to count. And though he was legendary on the football field, he may be remembered even more for how he was off the field. His nickname was Sweetness because he was just such a great person. And as Coach Mike Ditka once said, Payton is the greatest football player he had ever seen, but even greater as a human being. As a matter of fact, one of the highest honors a football player can achieve now is the Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year Award. It's presented annually, and it honors the player who's best exemplified all of the things that Walter Payton believed in, such as commitment to philanthropy and community impact. Sadly, Walter Payton passed away at the young age of 46 due to a liver condition. You may notice that his grave doesn't actually have his name on it, as this is not his grave, but his parents'. When he passed away, he was cremated, and his remains were kept with his mother and then buried with her when she passed. Well, adventurers, that's all the time we have for today. My name is David, and this has been Abnormal Voyages. Thanks for tagging along. We'll see you in the next one.